Welcome, folks, to the Iron Fork of Friday. I'm Dan, joined by Mr. Fourth Oracle. Hello, Oracle.
I'm here too.
How was your Metamidian today? You did that earlier today. How was it?
Had it with Scrimscraw.
Mm-hmm.
That was very interesting. Scrimscraw is much smarter than I am. And so it was really interesting hearing him talk. I basically just tried to edge him into talking instead of me. And it turned out pretty well. It was really cool hearing his opinions on teams and the way the Hephaestus is going. And I'm going to drag him back on after the Hephaestus is concluded.
Mm-hmm. I wish I was there to hear more of it. I was getting home from work and I was listening to the fireside chat, so I didn't get to catch much of it, sadly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want it to conflict with the fireside chat, even if that means it ends up going late. Or starting late for a lot of European viewers, because I'm still considering my options there.
Fridays and Saturdays are the big days for getting stuff done. So
yeah.
Alrighty, I
might change the day too. I may change it from Friday to another day.
Sure. Alrighty, so I'm joining a game here. Now I promise folks a big surprise for today.
That's what you were saying.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Rob, could you please hit that video low, please, that I told you about? No, just the audio. Classy, isn't it? Probably a little hot there. A little hot. Drag it down just a bit.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
Rob. Oh, okay. Right. Okay, so I promised people a surprise. Oracle, could you look at my name, please?
Yes.
I may or may not have joined Cake over there.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So, that totally happened. I'm now a member of Cake.
Hot damn.
It was Balana that convinced me and used you as an example, Oracle.
What? How?
What? Very simply put, she stated, Oracle is an amazing fucking caster, and he's still part of the gents without any hindrance to him.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's totally reasonable. I thought, you know what, Oracle, I would love to be as good as Oracle, so yeah, let's do it. We are switching over to a 4v4, though. The
really?
password, the password is going to be the same. So if we could just wait here a moment, we will go ahead and get going. We can go ahead and drop the music now.
Not the Iron Fork of Friday.
I know someone made a not the Iron Fork of Friday lobby. I'm not sure who that is, because that's not the Iron Fork.
Well, clearly, sir.
Hey, you don't know. Maybe Jacob was gunking around. You never know.
Look at this. All right.
But that was the surprise.
Congrats.
Welcome. It was not hard to get in.
Cake is pretty open.
Well, no, it's just I got a free pass.
You got asked.
No. I filled out the application just like everyone else.
So why are you saying it wasn't that hard?
It wasn't that hard.
All right.
I may have cheated. Who knows? Rob, do you have the new lobby?
Yeah, I'm trying to get... Okay, I completely forgot the password now.
The password is public for everyone interested. The password is Frosting.
Frosting. I was doing Frosty for some reason.
Frosting. If you want to join, you can join. This is a public event. The Iron Fork of Friday is a public event Cake puts on every single week to get to know the community, to get involved with more folks. We have a lot of cakes in here, of course. We have a lot of bully boys in here, including Daft Vager, I'm sorry, and Gilder Unfettered in the pilot slots. Halia Farron, Nishi's Mustache, Melon McCrabernathy, Tiberius, all piloting today. Also on the blue side, Acronymus and Fox piloting as well. Lots of cake, folks. getting their pilot and flight on today. Let's see if the password had not been given out in public yet. Oops. Oopsie. Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
No, well, people on
only a few public members joined because we announced it. That's fine.
So good. Yeah, the Iron Fork has been filling up really fast. It's gotten more popular.
Yeah, I was wondering why only a few pubs had joined so far, and it turns out that's only because they didn't actually announce the password yet. Only we did. Sorry about that, Jacob. It'll be fun though. It will be given out here. Uno momento. While we have time, though, we do have some stats to go over from week 3 of the Hephaestus Challenge.
Oh my.
So, for week 3, Glowwater Thralls had an auto win over Mad Hatters. Muse won over the Clamor. That was the highlight game, if you ask me. DPA took down Overwatch. It was a little strung out, and I feel both sides made some mistakes after reviewing the videos, but both teams fought well, and DPA earned their victory over Overwatch, and then HRA essentially clobbered the Riders.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, that filled fast.
Yeah. No kidding.
Whew! That is a lot of people. That is quite a few individuals, as one might say. With that being said, though, back to our stats. Currently, in my these are not the official rankings. In my personal rankings for the Hephaestus Challenge right now, I have Glowwater Thralls and HRA at the top, both the 3-0. I think that's fair to say. I think it's fair to put them at the top. Then I have Sky Invading Rhinos, Ryder, Sack, Cake, and the Merry Men in that specific order, all of which are 2 and 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Then I have in the 1 and 2 section, DPA, Overwatch, Muse, Clamor, and Mad Hatters. I wanted to rank Overwatch higher, but because DPA got them pretty fair and square, like they really worked hard to get that win, I couldn't legitimately put Overwatch above DPA, which is why they're at the top of the 1 and 2 rankings. Then Muse, of course, they got the Clamor, which they're right above in the ranking. Then Mad Hatter's at the bottom there because they weren't able to compete week 3, and I felt putting them above teams that did compete would have been unfair.
Yeah.
Then in the 0 and 3 section, BFS and the Art of War. Both teams really need to put things together. I think BFS has a better chance of doing that, but after what we saw last week, I'm not sure I can speculate on that at this point.
Yeah, right now both they're going to be really,
and
both of them are going to be hard pressed to really make something happen. I think
I've added the link to the full Hephaestus rankings also in Skype.
Thank you. Yeah. Week 4, it's just going to be us. Week 4, it's going to be one of the smaller weeks. Imagine's at MLG right now, so he won't be streaming. It'll be all on the Robin Dan Show stream. Week 4, HRA versus the Art of War. I'm putting that safely in HRA's corner. I feel pretty confident in that. One of the highest ranked teams versus the lowest ranked team, in my opinion. I can't feel that is going to go Art of War's way at all.
Yeah, that's.
And I feel bad saying that, but having seen what we've seen from the Art of War, I feel like they have a lot more work they need to put in to get things done.
Yeah, it's kind of what you've been saying. Like, and I kind of agree with you. Like, they just need to put time into it. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all.
And they have a decent start, but they need to get their identity going, and they need to figure out what direction they want to take, and they need to put just hours and hours a week into practicing. So
that's something we were actually talking about on the Metamidium.
Yeah, I was able to catch that part of it at least.
Yeah, that some of these teams know they're newer. They need to figure out what they want to do for their advanced tactics. Like we were talking about the difference between basic tactics, which is knowing when to buff, knowing what to do when. But advanced tactics is more like, do we want to flank? How do we want to flank? What ship combination do we want to do? And how do we want to fly it? Like that. And a lot of these teams just kind of don't know that yet.
A couple teams still trying to figure that out. That's true.
Yeah,
next game next game we have up there is Muse versus DPA. That was a tough one for me to rank because we haven't seen a ton of spark out of DPA yet. We saw some great stuff from Muse last week, but I think DPA has had more time to practice and put into things and congeal a little more over the course of the last few weeks. I think we saw that in their game against Overwatch, and I'm just going to edge that slightly in DPA's favor.
I am going to. I don't know. The thing about the Musosaurs, the thing about the Musosaurs is they're really good against teams that plan.
That's true.
Because and try to like scope out their opponents, because even the Musosaurs don't know what they're doing like until they actually go into the match. So it's, I don't know, DPA. I wonder. I think it's going to depend on how much DPA relies on like planning for its opponents. And how it decides to play it. Like I think it's up in the air. I think it could go either way. I think that DPA is more skilled, but I think that Musosaurs have sort of they have surprise on their side, and so I think it's up in the air.
Again, this is a very tough game to match up. It is a very tough game to try and predict because they're two underdogs right now that I don't think people saw going anywhere, but we saw a spark from them pretty solid last week. So this is going to be a bit of an underdogs match to see who exactly is going to be able to move on in the lower rankings and start to progress up the ladder towards possibly getting into gold for the postseason. Last game we have tomorrow is Cake versus the Merrymen. I had a very tough time ranking this because both are 2-1. Both teams have had some decent wins in the last few weeks. Merrymen beat BFS pretty handily. Well, not pretty handily, but they beat them. They overcame them. Merrymen lost to the Holy Roman Army and then beat DPA 5-2. So I had a very tough time calling this one. I'm going to edge this slightly in Cake's favor because I think after last week and the learning experience they had against the Sky Invading Rhinos, they're going to be able to do something. Game is starting, though. Red Sepulchre is the map. Oracle, we have never talked about this map before. Tell us about it.
Red Sepulchre, yeah, this is a new experience. I've never casted on it before. It's kind of an odd map. It's massive, first of all. Like, it's absolutely massive. And there are a couple of different areas that you can have fights in. But all these different areas have one thing in common. They're kind of boxed in with one escape route. Sure. And they have a pretty high flight ceiling. It's not too messed up. Like, there's not too much rubble on the ground. So if you start bouncing, you're generally okay. So really, it's a big, flat, open area. I mean, if there were an equivalent to, what is it? Like Final Destination in Super Smash Brothers, this would probably be it.
Okay.
12 kills. It's going to be 4v4, so it's 12 kills to victory.
We have first off, on the red side of things, the VSS Alexandria, piloted by Halia Farron. We see this almost every single week. Halia loves their junker. On the right-hand side, we have a Carronade Hwacha. On the left-hand side, did I say junker? I meant Galleon.
Galleon.
Yeah, Galleon. We have a Lumberjack Hwacha on the left-hand side with double mortar supports for the lights. We also have the Charles Mingus, piloted by Nishi's Mustache. It's a Mirabula with, on the right-hand side, a Flak and Artemis. Center is a Mercury. And left-hand side is another Flak Artemis. For the Mary's Poppin', piloted by Tiberius the Third. That's a Lumberfish with double flamers on the side. And last for the red team, we have the VSS Molotov Caketail, piloted by Melon Macrabernathi. Double Hades with Artemis and Flare support. Go ahead, Oracle.
Gotta do this quick. Aboard the VSS Mummy, a Pyramidion being piloted by Chronomus, we have a Hades Artemis forward with a flamethrower and carronade on the port side for disable. Aboard the Darwin's Eulogy, a Goldfish being piloted by Q Fox P.
No.
Carronade fish with a Yeah, it's a blenderfish with a flamethrower on the port, carronade on the starboard. Aboard the King in the North, a Pyramidium being piloted by Sir Daftbogger. We have Double Gap forward with a flamethrower and mortar on the port. And aboard the Flying Fecal Matter, tee-hee-hee. We have a Spire being piloted by Gilderon Fettered. It's a Lumber Spire. With an Artemis forward, another Artemis on the starboard, mine launcher on the port just in case.
Mary's Poppin has swinged forward of the mountain range the red team usually uses for defense on this map, getting double teamed by King of the North and Darwin's Eulogy. Mary's Poppin could lose her armor. It does indeed go down. Hull is exposed. Darwin's Eulogy is pursuing something fierce.
So
that carronade.
Here's how I figure we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to take this a little bit more like looking at the larger picture rather than like casting like every fight. Yeah, Darwin's Eulogy going way out here, and it's gonna end up being a 4v3, but Mary's Poppin is gonna be pretty far out. And it looks like the red team, most of the ships are gonna be facing the wrong way. King of the North doing a number on the Charles.
Yeah, this Charles Mingus is definitely hurting just a little bit. Great pressure from King of the North. Mary's Poppin and Molotov Cocktail take down that first ship. First point goes to the red team. Who was that? That was the Mummy. Not the Mummy, Darwin's Eulogy. There it is. Mummy and King of the North moving on a Charles Mingus. Alexandria trying to support Mary's Poppin and Molotov Cocktail moving in as well. We have a ship left out of the fight. The Fecal Matter has no arcs whatsoever right now. None. Zero. Zip. Nada. So right now, blue team may have a slight advantage when it comes to hull health, but they're going to lose that pretty quickly considering it's now a 2-4. Charles Mingus could go down here, though. Great pressure from the King of the North. King in the North, not King of the North. There we go. Fecal Matter has gotten arcs on the Alexandria, though. Alexandria is losing altitude fast.
Yeah, one of the nice things about this Spire is that you can stay up pretty high, and the Artemis will still be able to hit, the Lumberjack will still be able to hit, and it's going to be able to rain in some suppressing fire. Maybe allow the maybe not going to allow the Mummy to get out.
Wow.
Already 3-0 for the red team.
That was brutal.
Flying Fecal Matter is pretty far forward. Keeping that Spire alive is going to be quite important. Assuming that it keeps arcs.
The Flying Fecal Matter, Darwin's Eulogy, moving in on the Molotov Caketail. We might see some serious pressure and a kill for the blue side. Molotov Caketail grounding out. Darwin's Eulogy moving in with that carronade. They're trying to get damage done, but it seems like they're having trouble closing the deal. Mary's Poppin moving in to help support with that Lumberjack. Alexandria and Charles Mingus doing the same. Darwin's Eulogy is in a bit of a pinch right now. Hydrogening out of the situation. Great use of hydrogen. He's going to back up, and I do believe he will be safe.
Darwin's Eulogy, in the meantime, stepping farther back. The blue team's going to regroup and try to re-engage this. Ooh, but the armor's down on the Darwins. Losing this ship is going to be very detrimental.
I don't think they're going to lose it right now. I think they're going to be able to hold on to it. Shots are mostly going into the balloon. Yeah, they have lost a little bit of hull, but it's not a massive amount. King of the North, though, moving in way ahead of the Mummy and the Fecal Matter. Tough situation they're putting themselves in right now, in my opinion. Oracle, can they even survive this?
They're not even going to try it. They're going to go in for the Charles Mingus, but they lose their Gatling and their balloon. They're going to have a lot of trouble keeping arc. Actually, they're going to be okay keeping arc. No, they're not. Balloon's down. There it goes. Charles Mingus. Balloon's fine.
They have a lumberfish. Balana has been practicing a lot, and I do mean a lot, with the Lumberjack, and she has gotten very good at putting those shots into someone's balloon, even a Pyramidian.
Yeah, balloon's down on the King of the North. They're just going to keep bouncing along the ground if the Mary's Poppin is going to be doing well. And it looks like they have easy arcs. And now the question is, can they keep the Mummy off of the Poppin? The answer is yes. Charles Mingus ripping through the Mummy.
Great shots. Those flat cannons, those light flat cannons just obliterated that hull as soon as it got exposed. Charles Mingus's gunners clearly on the ball with those weapons.
On top of that, I mean, you have focus fire coming down from the red team really strong. I mean, they only split when they really need to. You saw the Mary's Poppins just like, okay, give me a chance to get this kill, and then I'll come and join you guys. Like, no problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the focus fire is just, and the way they're splitting targets is much, much stronger. This part of the map, by the way, I'd like to point out, it's a carbon copy of Canyon Ambush.
Really?
Yeah, on the southern side of the map. A lot of the, like, pretty much all the structures and general way, the general layout of the map is taken directly from Canyon Ambush, because you see you have that huge dip in on the ground. And
yeah.
That's the opening to the canyon in Canyon Ambush. A little bit shorter, I think. They cut it off a little bit, but it's basically a copy. Everywhere else is a little bit different, but right now we're kind of seeing it in the Canyon Ambush area.
Interesting. Darwin's Eulogy under a lot of pressure right now from Mary's Poppin and Charles Mingus. I don't think Darwin's Eulogy is going to make it out of this. We're going to make it 6-4 in favor of the red team, but Molotov Cocktail is charged forward pretty much all alone to try and pressure back the blue team. Not sure exactly what their plan was in this. Hades shots mostly missing from that ship. Darwin's Eulogy does go down 6-0 in favor of the red team. They are now halfway to victory.
Yep, only halfway. We need 12 kills to achieve victory in 4v4. Significantly higher than 3v3, which is kind of odd to me.
Yeah.
Molotov Caketail moved forward. It was relying on the clouds to give it cover. And it did. Okay. It didn't give it that much cover. It ended up taking some hull. So I think they sacrificed more than they had to. I don't think the red team really needs to fear the blue team if one of the blue ships runs in, because I mean the Spire is going to have to get in there, and there's no way. It's going to take forever for that thing to climb high enough to get over this little area.
I also think one of the big problems that the blue team has to deal with is, so far they've essentially been going in one or two at a time. They haven't been going in en masse. If all four of them moved in systematically, by that I mean at the same time and in different positions, I think they could really overpower the red team. But so far blue team just isn't doing that. They've been going in one at a time.
I think that right now they're just afraid of losing their Spire. I mean, look at this focus fire. The Hades pretty much hard counters the Spire. And they're getting good shots off on it. It's being forced back up. That Lumberjack is going to be much less accurate at this range, even against a Mobula.
There's a lot going on right now, guys. Alexandria is providing some immense
Mummy
fire. Amazing support fire against the Mummy. Molotov Caketail, Mary's Poppin moving in. Charles Mingus with that almost non-existent hull has charged forward quite bravely. He's going to go down because of it to King of the North.
Yeah, finally. Blue team gets on the board, but the Mummy's in a bit of trouble. We see Balloon Popping going down on the Molotov Caketail. Flying Fecal Matter doing a good job of keeping it down, but it's got to start changing targets, I think. Yeah, I guess the bump on the Darwins.
Yeah, Darwin's Eulogy goes down. Not Darwin's Eulogy. King of the North goes down. No, who was it? Who went down there? Oh, the Mummy. The Mummy went down there. We lost the Mummy now 7-1 in favor of the red team. Darwin's Eulogy and Molotov Cocktail duking it out below the Mary's Poppin'. The red team, though, feeling a little threatened, I think. Not really pushing forward to help support the Molotov Caketail. Darwin's Eulogy and King of the North moving in on that Pyramidion. They're losing their balloon. They're losing their armor. They're losing their hull. They could go down right now. The Darwin's Eulogy gets the bump kill.
Yep. The red team, oopsie daisy, Mary's Poppin made a huge mistake here. Its allies are not there, but Charles Mingus had to spawn back in, and so the red team was at a disadvantage, and now the red ships are just kind of going in one at a time. This isn't even a meat grind. This is just like going in one at a time. Darwin's Eulogy gets a nice block. The balloon goes down, funny enough, to that ram, but it does stop the Mary's Poppin well enough. Easy shots for these four ships.
Bloop. There they go. 7-3 in favor of the red team so far. Red team well ahead. Charles Mingus sitting over the rocks right now, the Rock Ridge. Rock Ridge! Alexandria sitting back still, well far away from the combat. Alexandria playing a very solid support role. I feel they could get a little more aggressive, but as it stands, they haven't been missing a ton of shots. So I can't say it's a bad situation for them.
As it sits as well.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Mingus moving forward. Says no.
Molotov
They're
cocktail.
just gonna poke at each other now, I think. I mean, each of them is a little bit afraid to move beyond this big canyon. I mean, and this is kind of what happens when you get enough ships in there. Suddenly, larger tactics become really important. It's and moving a full team of 4 is quite difficult. And so oftentimes you end up holding up in one position.
It becomes a Cold War situation.
Kind of. Yeah, you see they're kind of trading fire right now. I mean, certainly damage is coming out, so it's not completely a Cold War. But right now, I think Mary's popping, trying to target that Spire, get it out of the fight. And what that tells me is that since they're targeting the Spire, they really want to try and make an aggressive movement. Darwin's Eulogy trying to stymie that King of the North, though. Yeah. Blue team eating some serious damage. Well, not serious damage. No, it's just not too bad. Able to back up fast enough. But the red team certainly has the advantage right now. With the blue team stuck low in the canyon. I think if the red team charged in right now, they do pretty well. Except for the Alexandria. Alexandria wouldn't be able to join them.
I feel conflicted about that because you have the Molotov Caketail and the Mary's Poppin' being mostly mid to long range ships, and the King of the North being specifically designed to brawl really effectively. As you see, on the Molotov Caketail, armor goes down. Hull is in dire straits. We need to see support fire from the Alexandria. Oh my goodness, there it goes.
Holy cow.
We just lost.
Whoa, Darwin's Eulogy, though. Ate a ton of damage. That as soon as that armor went down, the double Echidna came in and almost destroyed it.
As we saw earlier, even the light flag, not even the heavy flag, but the light flag does so much hull damage when you're hitting with it accurately. It can absolutely rip a ship apart. If you let your armor go down and let it sit down, Echidnas will destroy you in a matter of seconds.
Oh yeah, the DPS on an Echidna is, I'd say it's
armor's down. Armor's down on the flying fecal matter. There it goes. 8-4.
Charles Mingus picking up that kill. Holy cow!
That was some good accurate fire.
Yeah, that was the really that was the Merca and Artemii, I think. Or are they? What do they have? They have heavy clip on the Echidnas?
Yep, that's heavy clip right there to reduce that shake. That can be an issue with the light flak. It does have a little bit of shake to it. Having that shake out of the picture makes it excessively and disgustingly accurate.
Oh, and they're using it on the Mummy. I didn't know that, actually. Armor down. Hull's taking hits. They're going to be okay. Armor's back up. Okay, so they took about 2/3 of their hull worth of damage. It's going to try to throw something now, but the King of the North goes down.
They're still pressuring the Mummy. They are pushing forward and pressuring it. It does not have any option but to charge forward and hug the wall to try and defend itself.
Darwin's Eulogy backing up. Right now, yeah, we're still seeing this sort of war of attrition. And both of them are okay. Like, they're okay to do it. Blue team's brought themselves up to 4 kills. And so I guess it's kind of working, but fecal matter's too far forward. Blap, 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 blap,
blap. There it goes. And to clarify, the light flag doesn't really need heavy clip. I think hopefully I didn't confuse anyone with that. It does have a little bit of spread to it though, especially after 400 or 500 meters. And heavy clip does take that out of the picture entirely, which it turns it from a really good mid-range weapon to a sniping weapon.
Okay, interesting. So you don't take Lesmok for it.
Lesmok, it can be all right because the speed increase also reduces it slightly. But if you want to make sure there's no variation in your shot angle at all, you take heavy clip.
Well, the cone is still the same.
Yeah.
Cone of fire is still the same, but the heavy clip is going to give you more DPS. If you can hit it.
Yeah. Darwin's Eulogy. I can't speak today, is pushing forward on the Mary's Poppin', but Darwin's Eulogy popping its head up, loses a lot, and I mean a lot of balloon there. They just got their armor back together. Watch a shot's missing from the Alexandria. They might have hit if the rock hadn't been in the way, sadly.
Red team tentative to move in right now, though. Alexandria.
They're 10-4. They're 10-4, good buddy. They don't want to risk anything. They want to hold on to that lead and get to 12 kills before blue team gets another. Fecal matter is sitting way up in the sky. Watcha shots coming in, missing entirely though. Lumberjack shots starting to hit from Mary's Poppin'. Oh, one hit anyhow. The rest of them slinging to the sides. Charles Mingus and Molotov Caketail swinging around the sides of the rocks. They're going to try and clear out the blue team, but spots go down on the Molotov Caketail. This might work still. I don't think that they're going to be deterred by these spots. I think this is going to work out for the red team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, red team, they split themselves up, right? I cannot talk today.
It's okay. It's all
split
right.
themselves up pretty hard. Charles Mingus going to be eating the brunt of that, I think. They're going to want to take it down. Armor's burning away pretty hard. Darman's Eulogy going in hard as well. Molotov Caketail trying to make something of it. This engagement is going to be very important. Darman's Eulogy popping up. Mary's Poppin', though, I believe is in arc. Yes.
Both the Alexandria and Mary's Poppin' are in arc. Hades are in arc too. Darwin's Eulogy is in some serious pain.
There it is. Bloop, 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 bloop. Yep, very important engagement. I feel like the blue team just overcommitted to that one.
Yep.
Definitely.
And Vomac does have a good point in chat. Most hulls are pretty big, talking about the possible use of heavy clip on the flak. That is also a very good point. Sky Whales for All is also in chat. Everyone, Sky Whales for All, salute! It's one of those days. Congratulations, Red Team. They get the first win of this Iron Fork of Friday. I'm not sure we're going to stick with the 4v4. We might, depending upon whether or not people had connection issues during it. There is lag issues that happen during 4v4s. So we'll see if that was an issue this time around.
Hopefully not. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, I think everyone was okay. I wasn't watching chat too terribly much. Let's see. Yeah, no one was complaining. So it looks like not too many lag issues.
All right. I think my game is bugged. No, it's not. Game is fine.
Oh, good. All right, we got one spot open for anyone watching that wants to join in. You can jump in. Password is frosting.
Frosting.
Molotov Caketail.
The Molotov Caketail was fun. It looks like Tiberius.
Satisfying.
It looks like Tiberius and the Mary's Poppin' has switched over to the blue side of things with the auto switch, changing spots with King in the north.
We just need one more, guys. One more, and we can get this another 4v4 going. And this time it's going to be on Battle on the Dunes.
Oh no, this is just a complete
snipey.
This devolves into just fire everything constantly.
I'm not even going to try to keep up with the damage. You can try if you want, but you're alone in that.
I will do my best because I feel responsible.
Yeah. Responsible for what?
Information?
Covering the action.
Skywells for All suggesting everyone bring mines.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no.
New.
Control room agrees. No.
Well, I mean, it's such an open map. Like maybe on like something like Duel at Dawn, or I don't know what 4v4 maps there are. I don't pay attention to 4v4.
I don't think anyone can pay attention to 4v4. It's 4v4.
This is Travels. Okay, here we go. Pearson Rumble. Yeah. I think.
Again, from the chat, Skywills
not
for
much.
All. Fight in the center like men.
No.
I was told I would be fighting men.
This is Battle on the Dunes. You fight men, and men wield long-range guns still, because it's Battle on the Dunes.
I was told we would be fighting men, not tiny baby.
Again, the only men left standing on Battle on the Dunes are the ones with long-range guns.
Like Natasha?
Natasha? Who?
You missed the joke entirely.
I really did.
TF2.
You mean Sasha?
Is it Natasha and Sasha?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you. I don't really play TF2 that much.
The fuck is wrong with you?
We need to get you playing
I've been
TF2.
playing other stuff. Man, when Star Citizen comes out, I'm going to be playing nothing but that.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna probably be
am
doing that too,
so-
whenever it comes out.
Oh man. Oh, Rob. I'm setting up a shipping business in Star Citizen.
I think we can all get in on that.
Heck yeah.
Go
Right now
on.
I just have a couple of friends, but the idea is most of our work is going to be legitimate. Like that's what we're going to try to do.
Most
Something-
of our work.
Most of our shipping is going to be legitimate. Some of it, if we get a good deal, we'll do what we need to keep flying. Sort of Firefly. We take the jobs we need to. But that generally, like, we're going to be doing a lot of just regular old shipping, but we're going to have a very strong security for whatever we transport. And so, and everyone that is there protecting is going to get an equal share. So, like, it's not like, I'm going to be piloting the shipping ship. I'm not going to take half of the profit. I'm going to divvy it up equally. The idea is I can, keep people regularly with me, and they'll become better and better, and they'll be loyal.
You know what else helps keep people regular? Rob?
Fiber?
Corn.
Rob?
Yes.
What keeps people regular?
Google Fiber.
Thank you.
Google Fiber.
Google Fiber.
I
I don't know where that noise came from. I'm gonna be honest.
You're really excited today.
I'm
Dan is
a
very
cake
excitable
now.
right now.
I'm naturally gonna be about 10% more excited and 10% cooler.
He's sucking all the cool out of this call. Because I feel incredibly lame right now.
No, I'm just sitting here talking about Star Citizen. But dude, like Rob, if you want to fly
Yeah, we'll have to try that.
on some,
Yeah.
yeah.
When's the game
We're gonna have to get
slated to
on
come out?
that.
2017 still?
Yeah, just about. So more
No,
notes
they've
for
been
Fest.
they've been adding a lot of stuff. Like they've been doing a lot of work. Like the patches they've been adding have been doing a bunch.
Can we talk about Guns of Icarus?
Yes, we can talk about Guns of Icarus.
So more notes for the Hephaestus challenge coming up here. I felt like with the first dropped match of the tournament with Mad Hatters versus Glowwater Thralls, I feel like this has put the Mad Hatters in a very negative spot. I'm not going to say poor spot because that would indicate a little more than I think is appropriate. I think it's put him in a less than stellar spot, though a pretty negative spot. We need to see something come of them this week in a major way. They don't play this week, but we need to see their team solidified. We need to hear some big news from them. They need to say, all right, here are our captains. We're ready to go. Let's do this. Oracle, you're actually part of the gents. Have you heard anything about that at all?
Yeah, they have everything set up and ready. They said that they have their people.
Everything is good. They've been practicing.
Little bit. They have everything set in stone. Apparently, like they have the captains.
Who are the new captains?
I don't remember exactly. I remember Grinning Jinx is one. The other one is a person.
It's a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's a person with the papers.
Yeah, I don't remember. Ugh.
It's okay. In addition, watching back in the matches, I felt Cake had a really solid second half against the Sky Invading Rhinos. They were down 3-0 early on. They came back to match it up 3-3. Their perma hulls, though, really kicked them in the tush then. They just they could not hold out any longer. They're going to have to work hard. Cake's going to have to work really hard to beat the Merry Men, but I think it's in the cards for them. If they put the work into it, if they put the effort into it, I think they have a chance at beating them.
I think the Merry Men are just rusty enough for Cake to potentially overtake them.
Well,
I think it's up in the air.
What does that mean?
Geez, come on, man. You can't let your biases get in on this. You got to look at it objectively.
Cake has been showing some pretty solid play, especially, like I said, in the last half of Sky Invading Rhinos game. I really think they have some potential. They need to get the pieces all working together, though, at the same time. Hiccups are still happening, and especially with the Sky Invading Rhinos first half of the game last week, it was a pretty major hiccup. They were disorganized. They weren't able to get together properly. They had some organizational issues, I felt. So, if they can put all the pieces together, I think they're going to have a pretty good shot against the Merrymen.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's up in the air. I think that either team could take it, and I'm not really going to make a prediction on it.
Fair point. Moving on, something you talked about during the... Oh, wait, no. We have to pause button there a second. We're moving on. Second game of the Iron Fork of Friday, 4v4 flavor. See what I did there?
Yes.
It is Battle of the Dunes. Oracle, tell us about the map.
It's pretty wide open. You got dust storms that roll in pretty regularly that'll damage components if you're inside them, but they also act as very nice cover. Soft cover if you want to try and move forward. You also have some big pieces of cover to the northwest and southeast. The big fat Leviathan and the ribs, respectively. Each of them is generally used as either a place to hole up or a place to use as a springboard to advance.
Alrighty, our first ship, the VSS Lutetia, piloted by Halia Farron. It's a Flak Hades Pyramidion with a Flamer and a Carronade support. I do like that build for this map quite a lot. I do like that build. Next ship, Gilder Unfettered with the Yukamuri Senkan.
Let me see.
Yukamuri
Senkan.
Senkan.
Yep.
I'm going to call it
Senkan.
Yukamuri.
Sure.
Because I'm an idiot American. Right side is a Carronade. Huacho. Left-hand side is a Lumber Flak combination. That's
this
a
is my
Lumberjack Heavy
favorite.
Flak.
This is my favorite.
Mercury and Mine Launcher. That left-hand side is going to obliterate things at long range.
This is my favorite galleon setup.
Oh, that's gonna be ridiculous. Good to see Gilder flying that one. We also have King of the North once again, piloted by Dat Vager. Double Merc front Pyramidion with Gat mortar on the side for brawling. And last on the red side of things, the VSS Shattuck Cakemore, piloted by Helen McCrabbernathy. Double Hades front, Carronade flare on the side. I got nothing.
That is amusing. Aboard for the blue team, while we're still going through ship builds, aboard the VSS Mummy, a Pyramidion being piloted by Acronymus. That's a Merc Artemis forward setup with a flamethrower and flare port. Aboard the I Don't Even, a squid being piloted by Q Foxp. We have a Merc forward with a Carronade on the starboard and a Banshee on the back. Aboard the SS Mary's Eaton, a goldfish bumping along the ground being piloted by Tiberius III. We have a lumberfish with flamethrower on either side, and aboard the Fancy, a Mobula, squishy Mobula being piloted by Dementio. We have Merc on top, flamethrowers on the low decks, and Artemi on the wings.
It's Fox! Sorry, had to do that.
It's Fox?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. He hates it when people say that.
It's kind of the point.
Oh. That's a main thing, Oracle. I Don't Even is getting a little close right now, along with the Fancy and the Mary's Eaton. Mummy holding back for the blue team. The red team has spread out over the course of the center and south side of the map to try and get really solid multi-arcs, cross arcs on different ships. The Mary's Eaton is looking to close on the Yukamuri. Am I saying that right yet?
The Yukamuri, yep.
Yukamuri. Mary's Eaton getting a little close. I'm never going to pronounce that right. Okay. Lumberjack shots going out against the Lutetia, but just not really doing much right now. And in turn, Mary's Eaton just lost their armor, and they are taking a smidgen. They did take, rather, a smidgen of hull damage. I Don't Even was moving into the crossfire zone that red team had set up there. It was a bad idea on their part. Shattuck Cakemore is moving in on Mummy pretty hard. Mummy is giving ground.
Fancy is not going to let that happen. It's actually a 2v1. Nope. I mean, this is why they're taking Mercs. This is why you see so many Mercs in this match, is because No, it's never going to be a 1v1, so it's going to be a 2v1.
Shattuck Cakemore in a pretty poor position right now. Engines are still good on that ship, though. They are reversing. Good pressure, though, on the Mummy, but really did not work out in their favor at all. Merc shots coming in, finishing off the Shattuck Cakemore. First point to the blue team.
Fancy had a really easy shot on the broadside of that Pyramidion, no problem. However, it's opened itself up to the Yukimudi Senkan. Lumberjack not quite coming in. There's one. There's not two. Not quite yet.
Landing. They're not landing right now. Fancy.
It's a long range.
Oh, Delta Jug just dedicated that first kill to you, Oracle.
Yaw.
Oh, that's so sweet. Fancy is starting to take some fire now. Lumberjacks are landing on the balloon of the Fancy. Balloon is down. They are shooting. They are parachuting, rather. Ooh. But that's not going to do enough good. They do tap down, get stuck, get obliterated. King of the North, easy shots. King of the North had an easy angle on that pyramid, on that Mobula, rather.
And this is really going to be the name of the game. It's who can focus fire their sniping best. And right now, I think it's somewhere in between. Both teams are doing okay. Shattuck Cakemore is behind the I Don't Even. I think this is going to be one of the few 1v1s we're actually going to see. Maybe, because of the ribs. The ribs are going to break the line of sight. And I think that the blue team wants to try to get the...
Ooh, Mary's Eaton is taking some serious fire. Shattuck Cakemore, great angle. They're on it. Armor goes down again on the Mary's Eaton. Hull is taking chip damage at this point, about at half. That was a lot of damage, to be completely honest. It took a long time to get the armor back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't know why. I really think it should have come up. I mean, the armor on a goldfish is tiny. It takes no time to rebuild, but it's so important.
Yep.
Yeah, they really got to concentrate more on that right now. They're just eating way too much fire to not be camping that hull.
Those Hades shots from the Shattuck Cakemore are on point right now. Absolutely decimating ships.
I Don't Even bounces, but the balloon's going to be eating most of this fire if it takes any. Still, though, if the Lumberjack starts landing, it's going to be in a lot of trouble. Shattuck Cakemore coming in.
Not all the engines on the I Don't Even are chem sprayed. I do believe they have deal with... No, they don't have to deal with the fire, too. I thought one of their engines was on fire.
No, they're fine. Right now, those Hades are going to be landing on the front end of the squid. They're not going to expose the engines to that Hades fire.
Actually, none of them are going to land in the first place. The first one lands there just now. I Don't Even had a really great dodge, shoot venting downwards very quickly to completely avoid most of those shots. Great arc dodge there. BSS Mummy moving in to pressure the Shattuck Cakemore, but he's sitting right in arc of the Cake of the North and the Lutetia. Obliteration right there. 2-1 in favor of the red team.
Yeah, red team is staying more cohesive right now, and that's allowing them to focus their sniper fire much better than the blue team.
Fancy is moving in on the King of the North, outgunning that Pyramidion pretty effectively. Armor is down on King of the North. They are taking hull damage about at half right now.
Yeah, the Lutetia, Shattuck, Cakemore, Yukimudi are all a little bit forward. King of the North is actually farther back out, and it's the only thing that's in arc for some of the sniping, especially the Fancy. Now, the Mobula is the sniping Mobula is ridiculously strong. I'm honestly surprised we don't see it more often because I think that it's really strong. I think that the Merc double Artemis can beat the Hades in a lot of instances, and we're seeing the power now. I mean, it's the Iron Fork, but it's doing quite a bit.
It has a lot of disable capabilities. A lot of disable.
Definitely. King of the North is feeling it right now. It can't even really return fire, but the Yukimudi has got arc on the
Shattuck Cakemore. The Shattuck Cakemore has been drawn out from the ribs rather with the Lutetia. Mummy is getting some shots in on it, but it's not enough to stop that Pyramidion, although they have lost a couple guns on the Shattuck Cakemore. Fancy, though, getting immense amounts of pressure. Long shots, short shots, every kind of arc is being made on it. I don't think Fancy survives this.
Oh, no. I mean, the focus fire is much too strong. But now the Lutetia is in a really nasty spot. The blue ships are still focusing down the Shattuck Cakemore. They're severely overestimating the damage that they've done to that Pyrrha.
My goodness. The Mummy still taking shots on the Shattuck Cakemore.
Yeah, they've got to switch targets to the Lutetia.
They really should. Lutetia is sitting much more out in the open, although Shattuck Cakemore is a little higher.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, the lower they are, the easier a lot of these shots are going to be able to
That's true. That's very true.
These
Mummy
shots are
just
gonna be easier
lost.
to land. Blah, blah, blah.
Mummy just lost half of its hull there. Great multi-arcs coming in. Great crossfire on the Mummy. It's gone. It is gone. 4-1 in favor of the red team.
Not bad. Not bad. I feel like the red team is just flying smarter right now. They're focusing their targets better, and that's really all there is to it. We're a third of the way to finishing this out. The I Don't Even is able to just pop out, lose a little bit of hull, but it's going to be okay.
A big thing about having cross arcs on something, crossfire on something from different angles, is that it makes it much more difficult for a captain to dodge shots, because all of a sudden they're trying to figure out the way where they can dodge all the shots instead of just one or two of the arcs. It can be a very difficult and mentally stressful situation for a captain to have to deal with that kind of thing. Fancy, though, getting some great shots in on the Shattuck Cakemore. Armor goes down again. Hull is exposed. Balloon is down. They're grinding on the ground something fierce. Balloon comes back up. Armor comes back up.
Yeah, they were almost grinding. If they had ground, they would have died. But they're going to be okay. And this is going to give the red team a chance to sort of focus down one of these ships. The Fancy does not have arc. If it gets focused down, it'll take quite a bit. Took a little bit of hull damage. It's okay, though. Blue team has got a much better position right now, though the Mary Zeton is a little bit far forward, I think. Yep, and the red team is going to jump on that pretty quick. You can
They are. I do like the aggressive positioning from the Mary Zeton, but definitely puts them in a little bit of a risk. I really like the aggressive lumberjacking, though. Great shots. This has caused a little chaos, or is causing rather a little chaos right now, because the red team keeps losing their balloons. Mary Zeton, though, going into evasive maneuvers. They're about to lose their armor. There it goes. Hull is exposed. Shots are still raining in from all four red ships. They are trying to dodge as best they can. Mary Zeton taps once, loses their armor. Balloon comes back up, though. They might just get out of here. No, wait, King of the North right behind them.
Yep, armor's down again. Gonna take just a couple more Artemis shots. Wait, do they have the Artemis?
I think it's double Merc.
Yeah.
It's double Merc.
Double Merc. Okay, they're just gonna try to chip away the Mary Zeton. That might work. I don't even, though. Gonna try to snipe out those guns. There we go. One Merc down on the King of the North, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to finish it up. One more might do it.
Red team is starting to reach here. Lutetia is taking a lot of fire trying to finish that ship off, that other goldfish. They're losing some very serious amounts of permahull. They need to consider moving back right now. Hull is exposed once again. Shots are still raining in. Armor comes back up at the last moment there, but shots are still hitting it very consistently. Lutetia needs to do some kind of altitude change to shake them before they go down.
Nope, not quite. Yukimuri Senkan, I really feel like needs to move a little bit forward. I mean, the Merc has a very long range, but its other guns definitely benefit from being just a little bit closer than they are right now. Those lumberjacks are going to land easier. Those flak shots are going to land easier.
Yep. The Lutetia spawns back in pretty much dead center of the south side of the map in the big open area that can easily be spotted. Lutetia already spotted before they can even start moving. Tough spawn. I'm not sure that was the best spawn option for them.
Maybe. They'll be okay. I think they'll be okay. Blue team's got an okay setup right now. Fancy, right now, sitting in the clouds. These clouds are really hampering the Fancy's ability to fire on the red team, I think. I think, like, the real kill power is in the Mobula right now.
That's pretty accurate. I feel like if the Yukimuri moved through the ribs to a relatively safe position and started sniping, peak sniping out from between the ribs, I think it would be incredibly effective, and it would allow the rest of the red team to push up north through the open field, getting down blue ship after blue ship. I think it'd be incredibly effective if they did that.
It's possible. I think that the Yukimuri could tank enough to be able to do that. But the rest of the red team would have to move sort of around the ribs to be able to take advantage of that as well.
It's a tough situation right now. The red team obviously not too incredibly eager to move in because of their hull strength that they have to deal with. Mary's Eaton, I don't even, are very low on hull as well, though, and obviously forcing the blue team to be conservative right now with the choices they have to make.
Yeah, if the Mary's Eaton loses their armor again, they're pretty much going to go down. I mean, all it will take is is the armor to go down and then one more shot of anything.
Quite literally anything. They have no hull left.
Except maybe Gatling. I don't know.
Yukimuri has moved to the ribs and is sniping out from it now. Shots landing on the Mary's Eaton. Take it out.
There we go.
5 points for the red team.
Yeah, they were just kind of waiting for that. I don't think because it's such a snipe-heavy match. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. Right as you suggested, the Yukimuri Senkan has moved in through the ribs. You have a really nice position now to sort of snipe in, continue disabling these blue ships, even behind these dunes. You see that the blue team has been using these dunes for cover. The red team hasn't been able to get behind it until the Yukimuri has come around in the ribs, and you see, like, even if they duck behind the ribs, they're going to get hit. And now the blue team sort of stuck, getting harassed a bit by this dust storm, but they'll be okay.
If nothing else, the Yukimuri will be able to get spots as soon as these clouds clear, allowing the rest of the red team to take some very good pot shots.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that we haven't really addressed yet. If they do get the spots down, that even through these clouds, I mean, the clouds right now are a detriment to both teams. But if the spots go down from the Yukimuri, then it's going to be smooth sailing from then on. Pardon the pun.
Mummy is starting to take some hull damage there. Their armor is yet to come back up. They're at about half right now. Armor is burning down very quickly. Hades shots are landing consistently as all hell. Merc shots landing as well. Their nose is broken and they are hurting something fierce.
Man, the Lesmok ammo. Or wait, is that? No, it's not Lesmok. That's just, wow. I always underestimate the range of the Echidna.
Mm-hmm.
It really extended it.
Yeah, if you know how exactly the arc functions, you can get some very good shots. Mary's Eating has a great sniper position on the edge of the dunes. Shattuck Cakemore has spotted it. Lutetia is turning its guns to focus on it as well. But that Lumberjack could take out the Cakemore before anything really bad happens to it.
Yeah, that low permahull is really going to factor into this. I mean, the Mary's Eaton has taken a very aggressive position. I think it's going to be okay. It's not really alone, but it definitely is farther forward, and it's making itself an easy target. It's not quite behind any cover. It's going to have to back up if it wants to do something like that, but it's actually moving forward using these clouds to try and advance closer. But I think that this may be a mistake. The rest of the blue ships are hanging pretty far back. Mary's Eaton might get focused down.
The range of those mercs is impressive, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Merc is one of the most long-range weapons you have available to it. The Mercury is a fantastic weapon, extremely effective in long-range situations, and with charged ammo, can really obliterate what's left of a hull after attrition damage has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even in Mary's Eaton moving in, doing their best against the Lutetia and the Shattuck Cakemore. No real support coming in from King of the North and Yukimuri Senkan. It looks like they're both trying to focus on the fancy. Shattuck Cakemore in a little bit of... Oh no, they're actually looking pretty good. Mary's Eating, though, in a lot of trouble, though. Great crossfire from the Cakemore and the Lutetia.
Fancy's down. King of the North and Yukimuri ended up able to take it out, no real problem. But now Yukimuri opened itself up to fire from the Mummy, but it's a galleon. It's going to be just fine, I think.
They have tons of permahull available to it. This is mostly an attrition damage game. Yeah, they're going to be fine. Mary's Eaten, in some very serious crossfire right now. Those Hades shots starting to land in spades. Oof. They're losing permahull. Hades kill. Kill.
I really like what the red team did. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the blue team spread was okay. They were kind of spread out from one another if you looked at it, but from the distance that the red team was, they were okay. But then, as soon as the red team like split up a little bit, closed the distance, that distance between the engagements became massive.
I don't even doing a quick
important.
Doing a quick hydrogen dodge straight up in the air over the Shattuck Cakemore, getting out of those Hades arcs as fast as possible. As King of the North and Lutetia were closing in on the squid. Mummy and...
I don't even in trouble, but it's going to be okay. It's been okay for a majority of this game. It's been able to back up.
It has its engines. It has its engines. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. The Yukimuri really focusing down the Mummy really well. Extremely well, in fact. Mummy has been decimated by those mid to short range weapons on the brawl side of the Yukimuri, including the Carronade and the Hwacha. Shots going out. Mummy, though, not getting hit by most of them. Most of them flying all around the sides. We did not have heavy clip loaded in that Hwacha, making it extremely inaccurate at that range.
Yukimuri Senkan getting a bit of a bounce, finally taking some hull damage here. But it's being focused. Shattuck Cakemore and King of the North moving in. I think that this may be a bit bold from the red team. I don't feel like they need to be this aggressive. But I guess they're feeling the pressure. Lutetia coming in. If the Lutetia can come in here fast enough, then they can take advantage of the low perma hull of the Fancy and the Mummy. Fancy not looking great. Ram gonna come in, gets the bounce, throws him down. But the Mobula has great vertical mobility. This is not going to set them back very far.
Those Hades and Merc shots, might though, landing on the Fancy, accurate as all hell. Absolutely.
Armor burning away. There goes the armor. And now it's open to hull damage, but not a whole lot of fire coming in. Not enough focus. This engagement has become very, very split.
Extremely split. King of the North, Lutetia, and Shattuck Cakemore. Oh no, rather just Lutetia and Cakemore focusing primarily on the Fancy, taking it out. Great kill, 10-2 in favor of the red team. Yukimuri Senkan and the King of the North focusing on Mary's Eaton for the most part, although the Mummy is definitely starting to cause trouble. I don't even moving in on the Yukimuri as well. They're taking hull damage at this point. Mummy
getting a ram. Galleon ram on the Mummy, but it has the long range side facing the Mummy. Do they have? Yeah, they have their. No, that's the close range side.
That's the brawl side. Carronade and watch a kill.
There we go. That ram did enough damage to the armor to allow the Hwacha to finish it off. Don't know if they loaded the Carronade into the armor as well. That definitely would have helped. Shout out Cakemore, though, getting the worst end of the Fancy. Red team is fighting in the blue team's spawn. This is very dangerous, but they're at 11 kills. They just need one more. Mary's Eaton's going to be the final death.
Wow.
Red team picking up a well-deserved win, I feel.
That devolved, I felt, into just this kind of strange mid-range brawl.
Yeah, I think that the red team was happy to make that happen. They could sort of support each other through these fights, no matter what, because of those ranged guns.
Oh, it looks like there was a problem on the Mary's Eaton. They actually lost Tiberius III somewhere during that game, and I'm not exactly sure where.
Oops.
That's not good. That was their pilot. That's not good at all. That may have been the source of some of the issues they had during that game.
Yeah, maybe. Ooh, King of the Flayed Hills.
Oh,
and
no.
This is going to take forever.
This is probably going to be the last game of the day.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say.
King of the Flayed Hills is a huge Crazy King map. And this is going to be crazy as all heck. Crazy as all heck. Folks, we do not have any open slots. We do apologize for that. We thank you for joining us, though, here at twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. As we were mentioning earlier, you, Oracle, just had your Metamidian for the day talking to Scrimscraw of Fullwater Thralls. You enjoyed that conversation. You're going to have that on your YouTube page later on this week?
If I stop being lazy, yeah.
Well, shit. Just gonna throw that out there. People are once again calling for mines in the chat.
One person, Sky Whales.
But it's Sky Whales. You have to respect what Sky Whales is saying.
Not if he's saying to bring mines.
Yes,
all the time.
I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Rob saying mines, please. I think he has a say in this.
What's mine is mine.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Someone also said all squid match. A lot of people are going squid on the red side of things. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Go all mine, squid.
There you go.
Squids. I mean, squids are really good on King of the Hill if you can manage to get on the point first and set up mines or just get yourself in a good position, because people are usually scrambling to get onto the point, and by the time the other ships have just barely made it onto the point and are huffing and puffing, the squids are fine and they're in a great position.
Yeah. Back to the notes really quick for the Festus Challenge for this weekend. I also had the notes of talking about the riders really quick. I feel personally, if the riders are going to make a serious impact in the Gold League, we need to see Luosi and Hillerton come back. I'm not saying that the rest of the pilots for the riders are bad. I am saying, though, we're seeing cohesion issues.
Yeah, I mean, that's this comes up every so often. I mean, all the time, I should say. Guns of Icarus is a team game. And when I say it's a team game, I don't mean, you need to work together with your allies. No, teamwork is literally the whole game. I mean, you have a certain amount of skill that you need to have, but I mean, once you hit that cap, which is not too high, it comes down to being able to help, being able to assist your allies, communicate with your allies, get your just subconsciously know, okay, my allies got that, the other engineers got it, and the captains knowing how well to work together, knowing how to fly their ships, and communicating with one another, knowing where they need to be, knowing when to time everything, knowing each other's capabilities, that's what sets Guns of Icarus apart from every other competitive game. I think it's not nearly as much about the mechanical skill. It's much more about your ability to strategize and apply tactics to the fight.
I also feel team cohesion is a major thing.
Well, cohesion is sort of one of those things that ends up influencing it. It's something that comes up. That's just sort of comes as a matter of course, I'd say.
Yeah. Now, as far as I know, and Delta Juggle, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I do believe Luosi is back this week. I'm not sure about Hillerton, but I do believe Luosi is back this week.
Oh, good.
So that's going to be exciting to see. Unfortunately, Riders isn't flying this week, but at least I do believe he is back. So that's good news. My last note that I thought, we're starting to see some pretty distinct patterns for each division, the Hammer and the Anvil division. I feel like Hammer is a much closer division. No one's taken a 0-3 yet in that division. Everyone's won at least once. There isn't a team that is just sitting completely behind in the division. There's some really great teams, but there aren't any completely lackluster teams. So I think the Hammer division is a little bit closer and more tightly competitive compared to the Anvil, which does have both of the 0-3 teams. It does have HRA and the Riders as well. So, no, I'm sorry. That doesn't have the Riders. What am I talking about? No, Riders is a Hammer division. Anywho, I think Anvil is a little more divided when it comes to the spread of skill happening. Something to consider when it's being put together for the next season, or at least taking stats from, of course, this season for next season. I think anyone would expect that. But anywho, Just something I noticed with the numbers is that the Hammer division is a little bit more tightly competitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, teams are struggling more. It's going to come down pretty close to see who's on top and see who's going to get in. Like that line, I think is going to the line between like getting in and being booted is going to be it's going to be determined by like the kills. Like that score is going to be very important.
Yeah, lucky enough, no one is booted before the silver season, the silver bracket. No one's booted.
Yeah.
The top three, the top 33% is automatically in the gold league, and the top team from the silver league gets into gold. Other than that, though, no one's booted before that.
I gotcha. Yeah, so you want to be in that top 33%.
Yeah, you want to be guaranteed a spot in the gold league, because otherwise you only have a slight chance to get into the serious postseason.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, like the cutoff, that's so brutal. Like I'd say that's even more brutal than what I thought it was. But wow, I mean that's it's gonna winning the group stage is gonna be so important, and that's why people are so afraid of giving away a single game.
Exactly, and just like Scrim said in the chat, Scrimscraw said in chat, you can't afford to lose games.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about in the Metamidian.
I believe Scrim is making the point that because it's a one-off system where it's only one game instead of a best of three, in a best of three, you can afford to take the first game and feel an opponent out. Just get a quick feeling. Whereas
be bold with the first serve.
Yeah. Whereas with a one-off setup, you have to win your first game because it's the only thing you got. So you have to put everything into that first game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. Personally, I really like that.
Madeleine is saying, aren't there a lot of best of one tournaments in Goyo? It's like, yeah, but the stakes have never been higher with best of one games.
And as far as I know, over the winter and spring, there really weren't any best of one tournaments. This is the first one in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to. I mean, the gold is going to be best of three, correct?
Yes, gold. Gold is going to be best of three, or at least part of gold is going to be best of three. I'm not sure how much of it's going to be best of three, but I know it's going to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be huge, though, especially once we get to gold, where there is going to be a little more wiggle room, and teams are going to want to keep pushing as hard as they have. The best of threes are going to be incredibly intense.
Yeah, and Scrimscraw is saying the pressure on the players to perform is so high. It's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the pressure in the FSs is really high, but that's kind of what makes it exciting. That's one of the things that makes it really exciting.
Yeah, we are just waiting on one individual. If you want to join, the password is Frosting.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
You can feel free to join.
This is gonna be the last game.
Definitely the last game.
Because like, what's the score cap?
I have no idea.
Do I? Istanbul is Constantinople. Istanbul.
What the hell?
The VSS Constantinople. We need one more captain and one more crew member to get this going.
Hopefully we'll have.
Oh, there we go. Shortly. Abby the Rat's in. Now we just need one more. One more. Uno más.
Uno más.
Anyone in chat wants to join in, the password is Frosting.
Frosting.
Meep. That's the password. One more. Tanya's not jumping in. She's in the spectator slot, but she's not jumping into the game.
Maybe she doesn't want to play today.
She was playing earlier.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe Dementio, especially with a Galleon, is going to ready it before he has a third crew member.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It's like, well, time for me to hop in. No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Gotta cast. This is my lot.
Much like C-3PO, this is your lot in life.
Yes.
You remember what he said right before that?
No.
It seems we're made to suffer.
Oh, right. Yes, this is our lot. Did you really just compare me to C-3PO?
Maybe.
Uh,
I compared your C-3PO to Rob's R2-D2.
why does he get to be the cool one?
Because all he does is beep and whistle.
He's a robot.
Well, by beep, I mean swear.
I don't remember R2-D2 farting.
Well, in his own way.
Yeah.
I have no comment.
Didn't he poop oil out on something in one of the unmentioned?
Prequels.
Yes. Well, we don't mention that they're anything, really.
We don't talk about them. We don't talk about them.
So
I
unlike Spore.
thought that the action was really good in them. Everything else was kind of.
Shh.
I thought it was very wonderful choreographed fighting that, yeah.
That I can't say much else. Okay, I actually like for all the reasons that people dislike the episode 1. I feel like I absolutely detest it for a completely different reason. I cannot stand it because the dialogue is paced absolutely horribly. Like, you go and watch it again, and you will find that there is about 1 second of air between every line. Even the lines that feel like someone should be like interrupting someone else, there's like half a second to a second of air, and it just is so dumb. It's like it's the worst, most infuriating thing in the world.
See, now
it's just like, holy crap.
Now you're making me want to do a re-edit of Star Wars Episode 1 and get rid of any moment where someone is not saying something. So it's just a string of
close
words.
The air. Sort of like that thing where someone counted every word that was said in the original Star Wars trilogy. Do you see that?
I think no, maybe. What are you talking about?
Like they literally just went like down like alphabetically, like what words were said and how many times, and like they just took like the snippet of of the character saying the word and did that, and it went on for like, oh god, for freaking ever. However long dialogue is in the original, in the original Star Wars trilogy. Goofy as all get out.
Hopefully the red team gets their act together and readies up, because I don't want to talk about Star Wars episodes 1, 2, or 3 anymore.
Is
Star
that
Wars
Meepo
sorted
reference?
alphabetically?
Apocalypse. That's probably it.
Well, while we're waiting, this is all the uses of the word A in Star Wars 201
Words
times.
starting with A.
We're not even done yet. Okay, I see where this is going. No, this is not what I would want to do.
No.
It would be the entire film, but just all the parts where no one's talking.
Exactly.
Cut out.
Exactly. And not even in any like understandable fashion. It's just like, okay, they're saying words. Like they reordered the words.
I wouldn't reorder them, so you'd be able to watch it and go, wow, this is Star Wars, all right, just nothing but dialogue. With no pacing.
The Iron Fork has devolved into Star Wars chatter, folks.
Yeah. Now we
Not
can turn
my
it into
fault.
Star Citizen chatter. I'd be happy with that.
Let's not do that.
Man, I'm so pumped for it though. I only spent $40 and I got an Aurora and beta access. But my Aurora is wonderful.
You
Aurora,
love it?
actually. Yeah. I mean, it's not as like blatantly strong as some of the other ships in the game, but it does have it can be modded to have a lot of cargo capacity for a ship of its class, which is good.
Here we go.
There we go. Alrighty. King of the Flayed Hills is the map. One of the coolest map names in the entirety of the game, in my opinion. Oracle, tell us about the map.
It's Red Sepulchre with points. You end up fighting all over the map instead of like just one area. I mean, 4v4 ends up kind of being that way. You fight in one area a lot of the time. This, you kind of get to have a tour. Around 6. Oh my god.
660 points to get the win. It is a crazy king map.
Hold on, I'm gonna get a glass of water.
Points are activated in order. I'm going to go ahead and go over the ship loadouts here. The Constantinople is not Istanbul. It's Constantinople. A squid piloted by, who is that? Haliaferon. Great tease on there as well. We have Flamer, Banshee, and a Carronade on there. We also have the Agile Midget piloted by Acronymus. Not Acronymus. Zubin. Zubin is piloting that one. Carronade, Flamer, and Mine Launcher on that. We also have the Poke piloted by Abby the Rat. We have Caro Flamer on the front with Flamer Mine Launcher on the side. And for the Meepocalypse, it's another squid piloted by Mela McCrabberdathy, Flamer, and Banshee and Carronade all ready to go. While you do the blue loadouts, I'm going to get a drink as well.
All right, go for it. I'll take my time. Oh, first point flipped. So for the blue team, we have the Asdaft, being piloted by Dr. Panda, is a watch-a-fish with a flamethrower on the port, Gatling on the starboard, so a bit of a kill there. Foz the Pyramidion being piloted by Fox. We have Banshee, double Banshee forward, and another Banshee on the port side for a potential Banshee trifecta, and an Artemis to boot. Aboard the King in the North, a Pyramidion being piloted by Sir Daftvager. Captain Tomato King getting in the way there. Gatling mortar forward with a Banshee and mine launcher on the port side. And aboard the Deicide. Ha! Nice try. Aboard the Deicide, a Galleon being piloted by Dementio. We have a Watcha flak on the port with a Gatling to support. Harpoon on the back, oddly enough, and double Carronade on the starboard for defense.
Can we just call it the Decide?
Well, it's Deicide, killing a god.
That sounds really
that is
boring
a word,
to me.
I believe. Deicide.
I just want to call it Decide.
I think it's a word.
I'm sure it's a word. I just don't care.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's a word, to be honest. Gonna be
okay, so it's real. Okay.
Yeah. It's just really boring of a word.
Really? How's it boring?
Because it's Decide. It's just
no, because Decide and Deicide are two different things, Dan.
Opening up a root beer. I got a soda.
Next point is already heavily sat on by the blue team. Red team's moving in though. Meepocalypse is the first up to bat. Getting Hwacha, though, not losing anything beyond some armor. They are perfectly fine. The Poke and the Agile Midget moving in as well from opposite sides. The red team is engaging with extreme prejudice, but Meepocalypse ripped apart by all the Gatlings and the Flamers and everything. They've lost every component. They have no engines. They are getting obliterated. Agile Midget ripped to shreds as well. Oh my goodness, there they go. Constantinople moving in on the King of the North. But the sturdiness of these blue ships is making it so that the squids just can't get through their armor.
I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit difficult to get excited over these fights because I know that this is literally like what the next hour is going to look like, probably.
Aww. Poke is doing a really good job against the Asdaft. Flamers and Carronades grounding out the goldfish really effectively, extremely effectively, in fact. Foz the Pyrrha, though, dealing with a Poke in kind. Banshee shots all over the place. You guys are talking about the Banshee there on the Metamidian for a moment. What do you guys think about the Banshee?
We love it. I think most competitive players love it. I think it's a really cool weapon. It's just there are better options in a lot of situations, even though like it's a good supporting weapon. Blue team doing a good job. Looks like they might be able to take the point unless it gets blocked.
I don't believe Abby the Rat is going to move in here. Eberrat does not get the block. Agile Midget was too slow, as was the Meatpocalypse. The Agile Midget tried to ram the Decide, but Deicide, I'm sorry. But they do so much damage to themselves with the ram. They nearly killed themselves with their own ram attempt. Deicide finishes them off with a quick Watcher Burst.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
I'm surprised that the Deicide isn't being piloted by a Sacrilege ship.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, Deicide is to kill a god, like D.
Oh,
like,
I
deity.
gotcha.
Like deity, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's clever. It's clever.
It's just a prefix and a suffix. Makes sense. Or I guess it's just the roots
Faz the
make
Pier
sense.
is going to go ahead and sit on D point until it ticks down. Red team has Meatpocalypse and Poke sitting on it as well, but Faz the Pier is going to easily evade them.
Yeah. It's going to be okay. By the way, the Triple Banshee probably works better in a 4v4 environment just because you can actually afford to specialize a little bit.
That's true. That's true. We do have an engagement not on a point. Astaft and Decide dealing with the Constantinople and Agile Midget. Constantinople is heavily damaged and completely disabled. They've lost all their engines. They had kerosene in their engines at the same time. Astaft got a Watcher Burst all across the ship, completely disabling that squid.
Mm-hmm. All the ships sort of rushing over to E Point right now. I think we might see tougher fights coming in right now because, I mean, the opening generally goes to the team with the squid. Blue team managed to take it back pretty well. It's going to be pretty even. Game's moving pretty fast for a King of the Flayed Hills match, I gotta say. But
these do tend to last a long time.
I think E Point is going to last significantly longer. I mean, blue team has 3 ships coming in, but we have the Constantinople or the Meatpocalypse that's coming in, soon behind them. The Constantinople, why isn't it going faster? Is it trying to hold down the Fozzie? I think it's just got to go. Go.
It definitely needs to go. It needs to get gas on. We have 3 blue ships essentially against 2 red ships right now. Constantinople and Poke are just too far behind to assist the Meatpocalypse and the Agile Midget right now. Astaft getting great Watcher Bursts on the Agile Midget, taking out 2 of those engines.
Not great. Okay, so the fire took out a second one. There we go. They're going to come back up real soon, though. I mean, armor is doing okay, so they can afford to just take care of that real quick. Another Watcher Burst comes out, though. 2 down, 3 down. There we go. Now that's a Watcher Barrage.
Devastating against the Agile Midget. They keep losing their armor. Comes back up very quickly, though. It's very easy to bring up the armor on a squid. Watcher Burst going out once again. Too much damage for that one squid to manage. Constantinople Meatpocalypse. Poke all together now, though, trying to deal with these 4 blue ships. Fozzie the Pira getting those Banshees on once again. Armor down on the Meatpocalypse. Burning happening all over the place.
Oh no! Right now, there's not really much you can say about this. This is a clustered F if you ever seen one. Constantinople though going down. I think the blue team has the big advantage here because if the red team doesn't get the point before the blue team can mobilize on it, then they've lost it. Because I mean, what are you going to do to defend a point with 3 squids? I mean, you just don't have enough firepower really. You got to take the point and then just play keep away. But the blue team is just going to keep winning these fights and taking the points and eventually winning the game if it keeps going the same way as it is right now.
Poke sat off the point. Poke went just a bit too high to help block. Blue team does take the point. They're going to get about 70 points uninterrupted on this one. A point will be the next one up after this. And it looks like red team, since all those squids went down, red team is just going to sit on A. They're not even going to try to contest E.
Yeah, I mean, no point. I mean, it's ticking down pretty quick. I think Nithanil in chat makes a really good point. The disable on the blue team is a nightmare for these squids. Now, normally disable is okay. I mean, it's okay for point capture. Usually you kind of want to go for like kill to actually get them off the point and take it for yourself. We see like, no, most good builds are like, no, you have 1 kill ship, maybe 2 kill ships, and it's disabled. But in this case, you have so many squids that the Hwachas are fine. The massing of Hwachas is, if anything, good. Like it's more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Red team looking to take point A.
The big thing too is if you get a good Hwacha barrage on the rear of a squid, it's gonna have a pretty good shot at taking out the armor.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Not just armor, but the engines specifically of a squid. Now,
Engines, yeah, but
yeah, if a squid loses armor, okay, whatever. Smack, it's back up already. It's fine. Whatever. The engines go down on a squid. Not good. No, that's bad. That's really bad.
I normally agree with you. But in this case, the Hwacha can take out the armor of a squid and then deal damage to the hull all in one clip.
That's true. That's really true.
And when you're at that point, I mean, all the damage in the Hwacha is front-loaded, and so you can't just repair the armor through it. That's not something that's really an option on a squid when you're fighting a Hwacha. So that makes the Hwacha really scary to fight on a squid.
Poke getting the better of Aspdaft in the middle of nowhere, just fighting it out, duking it out. Meatpocalypse is chasing Fozzie the Pyrrha. Decide is moving in on the next point with King of the North. They're going to try and stake out B. I think if King of the North and Decide sit squarely on B, Red Team is going to be hard-pressed to try and take it.
Mm-hmm. What? Constantinople hitting their own mines. Are they... I think they're trying to... No, they just bumped up. They're okay. I mean, they took a tiny bit of hull, but they'll be okay. Yeah, Nithanil says, like, as no squid pilot myself, it's what my nightmares are made of. Yep, Hwacha is terrifying on a squid.
Mm-hmm.
Fozzie the Pyrrha.
You have so many...
Flamer.
Especially if you've already lost an engine or two and suddenly get a Hwacha barrage on the engine column, those two components are already broken. All that damage is going straight into the armor. The Hwacha hits so fast and does so much damage per rocket, especially with burst loaded, that it's simply too much to combat all at once. Yeah, attrition damage isn't really good against a squid because of how fast the armor can come back up, but a Hwacha is the opposite of attrition damage.
Poke chipping down the hull of the Fozzie with that Carronade and Flamer. Right now, the Flamer is just doing so much of the Fozzie. Everything is either on fire or disabled, except the armor. They managed to get chem spray on the armor, but they're going to start bouncing. Yeesh.
Red team trying to move in on B point. They felt comfortable enough with what blue team was doing to leave A. Those squids are giving the blue team a bit of trouble, but it looks like with King of the North, I've spoken to soon already. King of the North is getting flamed up something fierce. They did not have chem spray rotations up. Agile Midget and Meatpocalypse really doing a number on King of the North, but Meatpocalypse goes down. They had almost no hull left. Those Gatling cannons rip it to shreds.
Yep, no problem. However, the Agile Midget is here. King of the North has nice arc, though. I think the blue team might be able to take this point. Surprising, like, right, I cannot talk today. What is even going on?
Speaking!
Yeah, speaking words is hard. The red team is having a really hard time holding on to these points. I mean, if they can get there first, you know, they're doing well, but I think they need to start putting pressure on these points if they want a chance of winning.
Tough situation for the red team. King in the North really grinding down the poke there. Blue team is going to have pretty strict control over B at this point.
Yeah.
Meatpocalypse, though, is steaming in. They're burning kerosene, something fierce. They're not just tapping the engines with it. They let it sit in the engines there for a couple seconds. That was some serious kerosene. And they get the block! They get the block!
I don't know for how long, though. I mean, it's got to stay within a very restrictive space. And a squid that can't move is a dead squid. That's really what it's doing right now. Oop.
Yep. They're doing a good job. They're doing a really good job so far. Constantinople has had time to come in as well. This is going to be a serious problem for the blue team, especially if red team gets the idea that, oh, well, we could just keep blocking points here and drawing this out. We have a point advantage already. If we draw this out for the blue team and force them to fight instead of just simply capping points, this might go better for us.
Yeah, if the red team can manage to keep the blue team on this point, then they can just send their, even if the squid dies, they can just send their other squids over to the next point. This is exactly what I was talking about. I mean, red team just needs to contest these points and then go capture the next one because they can get there first easily. It's if they die, who cares? They'll respawn and run in their squids. They can be anywhere they want to.
Zoom! Poke is getting battered around. Something awful. Bounced around between multiple ships and multiple guns there. King of the North getting the finish on it. Agile Midget taking it as well. I do believe they are going to go down here, and blue team will be able to finish their cap.
Yes, Constantinople still on here, though, dancing around, throwing out the fire. Looks like the red team has said, you know what? Okay, we're done. They have cut massively into the blue team's score.
The blue team was sitting at about 140 points for this one, and the blue team is just saying, fuck it. They're leaving.
Yeah, they're done. The concept they just need to get on to the next point right now. Otherwise, they're going to be giving it up to the red team. I mean, red team, actually, let's see. The Agile, who is that? Yeah, they're just moving on to point C next. And I think, blue team does not want to let the red team just get there first and take it. But, I mean, King of the Flayed Hills, it's a pretty massive map.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be hard to get there soon enough.
Isn't King of the Flayed Hills the biggest map we have available to us?
I want to say yes. I mean, it's the same size as Red Sepulchre. It's the same map. Yeah, I think this map is the biggest. Yeah, I want to say it's the biggest. Fight over Fernfeld might be about as big, but I'm not sure.
Red team sitting squarely on C. Looks like they're going to be able to cap it before blue team even gets in range. They may get some shots off, but blue team is not going to be able to block this one.
I think blue team figured, okay, we can just cap this. It'll be really quick, and the red team just dragged it out for way too long. This is exactly what the red team has needed to do this whole time. Yeah,
this is one reason squids can be so effective on crazy king maps.
Yeah,
because they can bounce between points more easily than any other ship in the entire roster of Guns of Icarus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I feel like you don't see squids a lot in Deathmatch, but you see it quite a bit in King of the Hill and Crazy King and stuff like that. King of the North trying to put pressure on the point, but I don't think it's going to be able to do a whole lot here.
It's like
actually, these squids are doing well.
It's like a convoy that's just getting raided by all these fast-moving ships.
Oh, yeah.
Deicide doing a very good job of absorbing this firepower so far. King of the North doing their best to grind down the poke. The Metamidian needs to take out the Caraflamer Pyre before it gets into any more trouble. King of the North, though, losing their balloon. They're going to start grinding on the ground here if they lose their balloon a couple more times. Yeah,
this is a dangerous game that both these teams are playing right now, but the blue team, I think the blue team right now kind of has their backs in a corner. They have to try to make something happen. I mean, red team is getting closer and closer to that point cap. It's going faster than I thought it was going to, just because the red team is playing this composition the way they need to. Okay, Constantinople died and is coming back in. Yeah, red team's going to be able to hold this no problem. It's close enough to a red spawn, and they have squids.
I'm curious if Fozzie the Pier and Astaft, they're going to sit on D. They're not going to even try for C. Although a leapfrog situation is going to go in favor of the red team at this point. Mm-hmm. A leapfrog situation.
Yeah,
something
definitely.
I should explain.
Go ahead.
A leapfrog situation, for those that don't know, is when one team caps one point, the other team caps the next point, the other team caps the next point, and on and on and on. They keep leapfrogging points one after another after another. So the team that's ahead automatically wins that situation.
the team that's far enough ahead. Like if you are a full point captures worth ahead, then you are in a position where you can just sort of leapfrog and you don't have to actually like you can just set yourself up on the next point and be ready. You don't have to. You only have to put like a real effort into half of the points. The other ones you just block.
Absolutely. King of the North and Meepocalypse has a very big advantage on King of the North. He just got in behind the Pyramidion and is now flaming the King of the North's engine column. King of the North losing it. Something fierce, bounces against the wall, gets taken out. That could actually work in favor of King of the North, though.
Points D neutralized, don't matter none. D is going to be next. Blue team has managed to put themselves right on top of point D. Looks like, I don't know, they might not be able to get it.
I don't think
the Agile Midget. The Agile Midget is coming in. There's the block. Red team is playing this leapfrog situation exactly how they need to, and this is what you can do with squids. I mean, you put yourself in a dangerous position when you come into block, and you know you're going to lose squids when you do that, but you don't even really need to, like, oh, look at that. Holy cow. Poke coming in as well. Bought enough time for the poke to come in. But I think this is okay. I mean, right now, Red's just buying for time until they can leapfrog over to E and put themselves very close to victory. They can't quite win, I don't think. It's going to be close. They might be able to if they have like 4 people on it immediately, but that's unlikely to happen. It's going to take at least 2 more points.
This is a tough situation for the blue team. They had a decent sit on this point, but it's not going to hold. King of the North moving in to try and help cap the point. Poke is actually taking a lot of damage. Blue team may be able to secure this one.
Yeah. I think the red chips came in like one at a time. And sometimes if you can manage to survive those first couple of volleys, then you can dance around for a little while like the Constantinople's doing. Apocalypse is coming in as well. I mean, this is... they're demonstrating my point. They were able to survive the first couple of barrages, and now the focus fire from the blue team just isn't there. I mean, the ships aren't moving together. It's difficult to keep arc. It's difficult to time your shots with one another, and the squids are abusing that. Like, they're just dancing around and keeping the point blocked. Not anymore. Constantinople's too high, and blue team gets the point. However, they did delay it quite a bit. They're only going to get about 85 points out of it.
That was, I gotta say, that I feel like that was a bit of a miscommunication on the red team's part. They should have been organizing to make sure at least one of those ships was always on the point. The fact that Constantinople just hydrogened upwards to try and dodge and stay alive without making sure another ship could get on the point, that's a communication issue in my opinion.
Maybe. I'd say more just like situational awareness. Like, it happens. I mean, right now his job is to just try to stay alive. But I guess like the real point of his life right now is
Fuzz the Pirate gets a nasty ram kill using his nose cone.
Yeah, not bad. Though I think that's okay. They want to get to point E anyway, and the respawn is actually going to make the trip shorter. So, whatever.
I do believe they are. I do believe it will. E point in the far left-hand corner. The Poke and the Deicide already duking it out to try and get an early control on that point. If red team can secure it early by controlling the Deicide, I do believe... Can they win? No, they can't. They can't win off this point.
No, they can't. It's going to be a little bit too much, I think. Though I think the Poke is going to be able to get the better of the Deicide without too much issue. Look at that. Double, like they have the trifecta coming out on a Pyramidion, 2 flamers and a carronade. Holy cow. Yeah,
when you have 2 flamers working at the same time, it's just brutal. You're not going to be able to keep the chem spray rotation up. You're not going to be able to keep the hull or the balloon up. The Poke is using their ram and their nose cone as well to keep them pressed down. This is something I've discovered joining Cake. Wow. Abby the Rat is fucking scary. Like, her piloting is psychotically aggressive, but at the same time effective. Like, imagine if Kirk was good at piloting. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Shots fired.
I'm sorry. King of the North fired. Going down. Red team secures the point.
Let's see. They got it. So let's see, 500. They're going to be just shy of victory if they can manage to hold this point for as long as possible.
But yeah, I've flown with Abby the Rat a couple times now, and like it's scary how much pleasure she takes in just slowly, physically crushing her opponents. It's a little frightening.
Well, you saw how fast that took out the Galleon. I mean,
Yeah,
it's no mean feat taking out a Galleon that quickly.
yeah. Like I want to see her pilot in some competitive events. I really do, because she is like, she's scary, man.
Maybe a secondary cake team is.
I think it needs to happen. I mean, Cake has been growing very quickly. They've been focusing a lot on practices, so it might be in the cards. We'll see.
I really hope that they call it Team Bunt.
Team Bunt?
Like BUNDT, like Bunt Cake.
Oh.
Team Bunt.
One angel team and Bunt team.
Yeah. Or like angel or like devil's food. I don't know.
Well, the VSS Devil's Food is one of Tiberius' ships.
Yeah, it is. I like the Bunt though. It's such a cute word.
A is already, looks like King of the North is gonna sit its butt right on top of A and hold on to it as best he can. Whereas the rest of the blue team is already moving north to try and get to A before the red team does. Agile Midget, Meepocalypse, and Poke, though, making that a little difficult for Fozzie and Asdaft. Deicide and Constantinople both duking it out on the point. Constantinople needs to lower himself down as fast as possible. There's the block.
Balloon's
Red team
damaged.
will be able to control the point.
The Constantinople's balloon has been damaged for a while, so it was difficult for it to lower down and actually stay on it. Constantinople looks like it's just going to keep the Deicide busy while it tries to get to the point. Like, I think it just wants to disable the engines, make it lose its momentum.
Deicide didn't have a full
over.
chem spray rotation available on the ship. They have 3 gunfires and 2 engine fires they're going to have to contend with. Armor and balloon are fine for the most part. Constantinople taking a little bit of watch burst there. Nothing bad. It looks like, though, the folks on Deicide are getting things under control pretty darn well.
Yeah, right now they're capping the point. There has not been a block yet. Can the Meepocalypse get on it? It's going to be darn close. I can tell you that. Now, King of the North, I think, might be able to get the grab. No, there it is.
There's a block.
Block comes out just barely. King of the North, gonna have a pretty good angle on the Meepocalypse, though. Runs past it.
We just lost the Agile Midget. Meepocalypse is on their own.
It's gonna be hard. King of the North, its guns are on fire, but they're still firing. Not gonna take much to take out the Meepocalypse, and here comes the Asdaft. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Not quite where it needs to be, but I think the King of the North has enough of an
They
angle.
got it. They're going to finish Meepocalypse off.
There it goes. Blue team going to take point A. Not bad.
If I were red, I'd just go to B. They just need, what is it, 16
No, they
points?
can't. See, here's the problem. If you stop contesting a point and just sit on the next one, then that means the other team is welcome to come in and start contesting early. And that's not what red team wants. Ooh, look at those mine hits on the Poke. Really throws it out of sorts. Does a little bit of hull damage.
Hull, balloon, and component and engine as well. Poke is actually taking a ton of damage from a lot of different angles. Getting obliterated by Asdaft. King of the North grinding down the Agile Midget. They're losing balloon. They're losing components. They're losing armor. Hull is starting to take some pretty severe damage. Comes back up very quickly, though. Balloon goes down. It burns down, in fact. They're also losing some engines still.
It
looks
think
like
the proper term for that death was bleh.
Oh, no. Blue team making possibly a major mistake here. All leaving a point. This is going to free up.
The Agile Midget's neutralizing it.
Yeah.
If the point.
They need 16 points. Red team needs 16 points to win. Blue team cannot simply leave the point at this moment in time. They're going to lose the game from this uncap and this recap.
It's going to be close. I mean, because it's 4v4, the points take a long time to flip. But it's going to be close. I don't know. It's not going to be. It's not going to be enough. They're not going to be able to win off of it.
Oh my god.
I don't think so. At least.
Calculated risk for the blue team might pay off.
8, 7, 26. This is going to be so close. I think they're going to be okay though. 20, 19, 18. You're kidding
There
me.
it is.
It's going to be
Wow.
2 points off. 2 points. Holy
That's
cow.
incredibly
Really?
close.
Really?
Are you kidding me? That's not even
Oh, that's-
fair.
Oh, dumb. Oh my god.
1
one
point
point.
off!
You gotta be kidding me.
One
Nightwind Song,
is
by the way, agrees with
loneliest
Bunt Cake.
number.
You gotta be kidding me.
Nightwind Song heartily agrees with Bunt Cake.
I
Cake
saw.
option.
I'm glad.
Meatpocalypse getting in behind King of the North, but still taking fire from Flies of the Beer and Astaff. Meatpocalypse in a bit of a grind here, as Astaff could unleash at a moment's notice with that Hwacha. No, he's getting the mark.
I'm sorry. I'm just like kind of still. Yeah, blue team I think is gonna be able to lock down this point. Look at that. They're just grinding them down.
Yep.
Blue team, they have a chance. They're gonna have to take this point pretty quick though, and then they're gonna have to move off of it pretty fast. Oh,
Yeah, by the way,
Price
folks-
is on sale for $4.
Yeah, it was on sale yesterday. It's still on sale today. If you don't own Guns of Icarus yet, $4. $4.
Get it. It is 100% worth the money.
You will get a lot more than $4 worth of enjoyment out of this title.
Oh yeah, it's great.
lot more.
Plus adventure mode's coming up.
Oh yeah.
So get
Co-op?
So, yeah. Heck yeah. Sort of
that's
open
coming out.
world-ish co-op.
And gunners will eventually be useful. I promise.
Yeah, they have a bunch of stuff in the works they've been trying to balance just right before they release.
I might put up a post with some of the ideas I've had because I was on the Fireside chat a few weeks ago when we talked about some of them. I'd like to
cool.
get more of them circulating through the community. For example, making it so gunner so that all classes have access to only one ammo and you don't just have the standard ammo automatically.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that. Also, making ammos on weapons permanent until the ammo gets changed.
Oh, interesting.
That makes gunners a lot more useful because you can go to a gun, load a specific ammo, and say, okay, you have your ammo loadout for the game. There you go. You can go to the next gun for the next engineer saying, okay, you have your ammo loadout for the game. Good luck. And then go to their gun and set up their ammo loadouts.
Oh man, this game is real. Coming back to the game at hand, this is going to be close. I mean, blue team has put up a very nice fight, but the red team is sitting on C. 50 seconds until it flips. Already, blue team is moving in, but they're coming in one at a time. Here we go. Respawn in from the poke. He's going to move in on the point as well. This is going to be a really, really nasty fight.
Astaft is going to be the first blue ship in going up against the Meatpocalypse. Meatpocalypse gets first draw, though. Flamer and Banshee all over the Astaff. We have fires to deal with across that goldfish. Armor and Balloon are both not on fire, however. They're kerosining at the Agile Midget. They're going to do a ram kill, but it does not get the kill. They nearly got it, but did not.
It glanced. It was a glancing blow. They'll be
Yeah.
okay. Poke coming in from the other side. Banshee raining in. There's the Flamer. Karenade going to take out the balloon as well. Asdaft is not looking so great. There we go. Points active. And the red team, all they need is one cat. All they need is one cat.
1 second.
And they can get this. Poke. Lower yourself down. King of the North coming around from behind the poke. Gatling going down. Armor's down. King of the North raining down mortar. Not quite able to finish it off. Agile Midget going to try to drop it down. King of the North, only one capping.
This is insane. Astaft is losing it against the Meatpocalypse, goes down. King of the North now all alone against these 3 red ships. They're taking a lot of damage, though. Faz the Pyrrha and the the Galleon sweeping in as well. King of the North beginning to cap the point for the blue team, but red team is in the way to block it. They get only a small sliver of cap before the block happens. Blue team is forming up. Poke getting the brunt of that Hwacha barrage. King of the North in full tank mode, not even returning fire right now, just trying to survive as best they can. This is going to be close. They do go down to the Agile Midget Poke in Constantinople.
The blue team cannot allow the red team to finish this one off. However, the red team ships are very low in permahull. Constantinople losing even more. All of these red ships, except for the Meepocalypse, are very close to dying. Flies of the Pyrrha gets a hydrogen ram, finishing off the Constantinople. Agile Midget going to be the next target. In the meantime, Poke and Meepocalypse focusing down the side, but the Asdaft has come back in. But it's a disabled goldfish. I'm not sure it's going to be able to get a kill fast enough. Yep.
They missed the ram.
Yep. Decide.
Oh my goodness.
Getting focused on with the Meepocalypse still. Poke still on it. Agile Midget getting the worst of the Flies of the Pyrrha. Those Banshees, those 3 Banshees, not quite enough to finish it off.
This is.
It looks like the red team is going to have victory snatched away from them one more time. They're going to have a couple more chances potentially.
This is a tough situation. This is a tough situation for both teams. If the red team gets one more point, they win. They win automatically. They only need 1 point from a single point. A single point for a single point. But the blue team has the firepower to directly control the red team. If they can keep the red team under control, they could legitimately get a win.
Now, here's the thing. The blue team recognizes that if the red team gets another point, that they lose. And so look at this. They've already set someone up on point D. The King in the North is sitting there waiting. He just says, you know what? Screw it. Not even going to bother. I'm just going to hang out here. And I'm going to wait. But that means that he's not going to be in the fight. Here we go. Spawn in from the Poke. But the Poke might be able to get the block on the point. King in the North. This is so close. Right now, blue team, though, they're being forced to pull ships away to make sure that the red team doesn't take the next point. Mm-hmm. And it's stopping them from really furthering their advance in points. Metaphors, yay.
Metaphors are wonderful. By the way, we're going to call hydrogen rams uppercuts.
Uppercuts.
I'm making the decision right now. You heard it here first. Hydrogen rams, also known as uppercuts.
Okay. I like the term. It's better than a hydrogen ram. It's clearer. Makes sense.
Yeah. Uppercut and Goomba Stomp for vertical rams. I like it.
Perfect. Yeah, it works. Poke right now sitting on the point. Okay, King in the North is here right now. Poke doing quite a number, but the King of the North, does it have its mortar? No, it got disabled by the Poke. And now here comes the Agile Midget. Is the King of the North going to be able to hold on for much longer? Look at this damage. 3 ships on 1.
All
the
those
King of the North goes down. Fozzie and Asdaft are both here. Meepocalypse coming around from behind. It's going to be another 2v4, but I think that the red ships are cohesive enough this time that they can pick up these kills okay. It's gonna be close either way.
Asdaft is having issues right now. Meepocalypse on their butts, flaming and bansheeing the crap out of them. Asdaft is going to have to get things under control before they can continue to support their ally. Poke moving in on Fozzie the Pyrrha, putting an immense amount of pressure on that Pyramidion. Oh, this is going to be immense. This is going to be absolutely close. Poke goes down, though. Poke goes down. Great focused fire from the Asdaft and the Fozzie the Pyrrha. Deicide and King of the North, what are you guys doing? You guys are going to E.
Yep, I think they realize, the Asdaft, it's a Hwacha fish. It can take care of squids okay. It takes a long time for a squid to recover from it. Fozzie the Pyrrha doing just fine on the Meepocalypse. Almost finishes it off. Takes his permahull down quite low. Flamethrower going out on the Fozzie. Gonna slow down a little bit. Gets the ram, though. Takes down its own armor. Takes a little bit more permahull. But I think that, the Asdaft and the Fozzie have this. and the other 4 ships are going to point E a minute before they need to. This is how terrified these teams are. Both of them are playing extremely defensively.
Yeah, if you guys look at the Astaft, it's essentially gone into total tank mode. They have had their parachutes out for the last 30 seconds to a full minute, Nicholas. That speaks to me that they aren't even worrying about trying to return fire right now. They were just trying to survive that entire engagement and completely distract the Constantinople from helping out the Meepocalypse.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the real fight, the real fight of import is happening over at E. I mean, right now we have sort of a stalemate on point D. But right now, whoever wins this fight at point E, like if Red wins it, they win the game. If Blue wins it, they are going to set themselves within victory range.
I feel like Red Team has a slight advantage here. I believe Poke is going to be able to deal with the Galleon.
Not
but Poke
really.
actually did not. Poke didn't even go against Galleon. They tried to deal with King of the North.
Ram kills them.
Wow.
Agile Midget coming in on the Dia side, but the King of the North is going to come around behind him. This is going to be darn close. The closest ship is a blue ship. Boss of the Pira coming in. But a squid is right on his tail. I think that's the Constantinople. Agile Midget getting ripped down a little bit by the Dia side. Hull is very, very low, but it's going to be okay. Here we go. Point E.
I would have,
up.
in the previous engagement, I would much rather have seen Abby the Rat go up against the Dia side. I feel the Carronade Flamer would be a lot more effective against that. I understand the decision, though. King of the North is a devastating ship. As we just see there, ripping that squid to shreds. That Gap Mortar destroys things.
Yep, way too much. And the blue team is going to secure this point. Is this going to be enough for victory? Is it? No, not quite. They're going to put themselves at about 635 points. Both of these teams are going to be so close. That 1 point is so tantalizing for the red team right now. They've just got to keep all these blue ships on point E for as long as they can, and then they can go and just pick up A. But they need to keep the blue ships corralled in.
Well, I really like what's going on here. It looks like Abby the Rat's Poke is going to sit on A, and the 3 squids are going to harass. Oh no, Agile Midget may be turning towards A. I'd rather see Agile Midget engaging those ships before they get to A.
Agreed. Like that's what they need to do. They need to just sort of lock the blue team down and keep them at E. Then they can take point A. Like that's all they need to do right now. They maybe leave one ship at A. Maybe
anything red team can do to slow the blue team down must be done. Poke, though, cannot leave the point. You only need 1 point, Poke. Sit your butt on it.
Yeah, pretty much. See, yeah, is he just going to sit there? I feel like the Poke would be better off actually going in and trying to cut the blue team off while one of the squids sat on the point or like moved in, fought, and then at the last second, ran off and started capping point A. But I feel like that would be better. But what blue ship is coming in? This is the Asdaft. The Poke is going to have a chance to take this ship down before the point goes active.
I feel like Caro Flamer Pyramidion is going to be pretty effective against a Hwacha fish.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to see. I feel like Pyramidions generally do counter Hwacha fish pretty well. It's oh great, you took down our 2 front guns. Dandy, we'll bring them back up in a jiffy.
Or we can just swing to the side if we really feel like it and side barrage you where you don't have any guns.
I'd say like there's not as much point. You just kind of prepare the front guns. You already have people on it. The Poke is lying in wait. Look at that.
Carronade already going out. Look at that. Asdaft taking a lot of balloon fire. Oof. They're getting knocked around too. That aggressive nature that Abby the Rat we've seen from Abby the Rat. Flamer going out on the Asdaft. Poke is completely lit up right now. Abby going in for another ram, but doesn't do quite as much. We just lost a blue ship. Which ship was that? That was the King in the North. Just going down.
Big ship to lose. Poke getting flamed up. It's not able to do anything right now. It is completely locked down.
Great
Yep.
flamer use from Asdaft when they got bounced. Meepocalypse coming in though. Banshee firing true, hitting its mark. Flamer's going out. Poke is getting things back together. Tough situation for Asdaft. It needs the assistance of Fozzie the Pier and Deicide right now.
Absolutely. Poke getting lit up by the Fozzie the Pier. Fire, name of the game. Huge ram. Doesn't quite take down the armor. There we go. Armor goes down, but they bring it back up immediately. Watcher goes out. Poke's still alive. Poke's still alive.
Poke is holding things together.
Brawl. Massive flamer brawl. I don't think that's going to be decided by point A. Already, though, we have the King in the North, respawns in. They're just like, screw it. We're going to go to point B and try and pick up the victory. Depends on how long this brawl lasts. I do not think this brawl is going to last 2 minutes. Poke goes down to the Fozzie. Asdaft is going to go down as well. The faster these ships die, the worse it is for the blue team because they want to drag this out and just take the point. Ooh,
We
baby.
just lost the Meepocalypse.
Yep, to a little bit of kind of casual fire, I'd say.
Asdaft being, oh my goodness, Asdaft tanked for so long there and absorbed so much fire from the red team. It really put them at a disadvantage as just Constantinople is left. The kill power from Fozzie the Pier and Deicide, frightening.
Oh no, the red team really needs to move in on point A right now. I mean, this is awful for the red team. Not only did the blue team already have someone set up on the next point, but they won a 3v4 engagement. Like, it can't get more perfect for the blue team. Red team has got to move in now. It looks like the Poke and the Meepocalypse have a spawn point very, very close. I don't have the spawn points memorized for this one.
I don't either.
No,
Don't
yeah,
feel bad.
No. So Constantinople not going to be alone defending this point. However,
I
we
do
are
believe
going to have a Ren blue ship spawn right next, or they're fighting right next to one another. Blue team definitely has the advantage here.
great mini Goomba stomp on Fozzie the Pier, knocking it out of arc. Poke has the Deicide exactly where it wants it. It's using the nose cone and pressure from
Points
the
being capped. Points being capped. The Meepocalypse is on it, and the blue ships can't get on it.
get it!
There it goes. Just barely.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Finished up right at 1 or 4. Excuse me. 4 o'clock.
That was a long match.
Jesse.
That was
That
a long
was-
match.
We called it.
Goodness. Congratulations to the red team. 660 to 635. I'm not sure it could have gone any longer. That was incredibly close. Great fight from everyone. We had Riders in there. We had Cake in there. We had Bully Boys in there. We had some Overwatch folks come in. We have some Muse folks in with us as well. We have a Glowwater Thrall with Matt Aloud in here. Additionally, lots of folks hopped in on this one. Thank you to everyone who joined us for the Iron Fork of Friday for this Friday, June 20th, 2014. Amazing games from everyone. Once again, the Iron Fork is a public event that you can participate in whenever you'd like. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Oracle, I will see you on Saturday.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone who participated. Thank you, Rob, for the camera work. Thank you for joining us, everyone, at twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. We will see you tomorrow for the Hephaestus Challenge Week 4 right here on twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. Good night now.